The movie started with Aaron, who told himself he is a mental patient because he could not maintain a relationship with Izzy, who he felt was insecure enough to think he was right for her for years. Ross, Logan, Mikey and Charlie all had something to say about Izzy. Sabrina came to Izzy sitting on a bench. She told Izzy she would walk with her to class and told her to try her best to live her life because she is in her millennial age and just in her 20s. She should try having fun. And we also discovered they lost their dad to a car accident. Sabrina asked Izzy why is she is always holding to her note like a baby, and she said she writes in them and it keeps her occupied. Sabrina says she goes to therapy and she realized that Izzy never even cried when their dad died. But Izzy is trying to find herself and things that makes her better. The teacher calls out to Izzy and tells her that if she does not pass his class she would not graduate and it is important that improve in her academics, and he also told the whole class that anyone who does not participate in the Mouse and the Minotaur production they would get AD. The teacher then paired Izzy and Ross Wyatt for a script and should be presented in couple of weeks, and Ross says he is looking forward to exploring it with her. Izzy tells Aaron that she would be going back to LA after graduation and he got pissed because she literally lived with him in New York in his apartment. She tries to talk to him about they going together or having a long-distance relationship. Aaron tells her to get a job so she can cope better. Izzy is leaving because she ran out of cash, but Aaron is not having it. He feels she wants to be like her sister who is famous. Aaron told Izzy to leave his apartment the same night and she went over to Sabrina's house and told her she and Aaron had broken up. Sabrina says you can't trust a man that has 20 of the same burgundy cloth, it is not natural, and she can stay with her and Sebastian in LA only if she would do the necessary things around the house. Izzy went over to Ross' house for practice and they ended up not having any practice. Instead they both crashed on the couch and slept all night. Immediately she woke up, she headed back home because she had a class and could not wait any longer. We discovered that their mom is dating a woman who happens to be Britney Stan from the Mickey Mouse Club. Izzy went over to Aaron's apartment to confirm if they were still in a relationship or not, as she is not sure if they were still in a relationship, but they ended up having sex for the last time, which we later discovered she had yeast infection from the sex. Ross invited Izzy to a gathering of his friends and later that night he took her to his house and they both shared a kiss. Izzy was thinking they have a connection, but Ross tell her it is good acting and it actually is for the movie they are working on. Izzy walked in on her teacher making out with one of his students and this made her black out at the presentation of her movie with Ross, but is still hopeful that she would not fail because of what she had on her teacher. Izzy finally graduated and her mom came to celebrate with her, but Sabrina traveled, and her mom made sure to tell her she could feel her father's presence and she could tell that he is so proud of her. She and her mom decided eat and she met her mom's friend who she thought was her girlfriend but just Soul Walker. Izzy finally moved in with Sabrina and Sebastian in LA. Sabrina tells her that if she is ready to find someone she would when she opens her eyes to see them, and later invited her to Fox Mulder's Poetry Party book launch, where she bumps into Logan Holt, who happens to be a friend of Aaron, her ex-boyfriend. He took her out for buggers and they ended up in Logan's house and had sex because she is trying to explore her 20s because she is a young woman fresh out of college, as she strikes up relationships with several men, just as Sabrina suggested. Izzy went for the bitchy cast and did not get selected yet again, but she would try another one, and in August Logan tells her about his plans to go for a tour in a few weeks and this broke her, but he promises to take her to Cabo when he gets back. Izzy tries another audition but was another epic fail, only for her to get the news that Sabrina just booked a huge bestseller Warner Brothers is adapting. Instead of her to keep trying the auditions, Izzy decided to stop going for auditions because she was not having it, but later locked herself up in the room for the whole period of August till December. In the middle of all that she realizes that she does not like being alone and goodbyes, and it did not matter how sweet Logan was, she is still going to be in Depression Island. Aaron traveled down to LA, and this time he had undergone a lot of change. He even wore a navy blue shirt and later found out Izzy and Logan were an item, but not for too long, as Logan finally told Izzy that he is back with his ex. This news broke Izzy, as she had waited for Logan for 3 months only for him to break up with her again. It is Christmas and they decided to go spend it with their mom and her girlfriend. They had a family dinner when Sabrina got pissed again at her mom. It is the next day and we see the whole family going for an ice ski. But it happens that Izzy cannot skate when a young man who happens to be Mikey McCarthy offered to help, and as usual Izzy took Mikey for a beer and they discussed at length over the night. While Amy and Sebastian had sex, and this left everyone in awe. And Sebastian left because he did that to Sabrina because he felt she had sex with someone from her cast, which did not happen. We see that it is January already. Izzy and Serena came to Las Vegas together. Sabrina and Sebastian are no longer together, and since then she has not been herself, but Izzy is trying to help her get back to being herself, but she would not stop watching movies of Sebastian on television or even going through magazines of him in the restroom. Izzy goes with Sabrina for her movies, and there she met Charles Reed for the first time, who happens to be the director of operations. We see that Sabrina is sad and Izzy tries to cajole her, and they decided to do a video call with their mom and sing, and it tuned out to help lighten the mood. We see that it is February already and Izzy walking down the stairs. Charles came and they both sat on the stairs where she told him that her dad killed himself, but they were not close to really feel the impact of the loss. Charles leans in for a kiss with Izzy but did not kiss her and he left. But Sebastian would not stop sending Sabrina flowers and she continued to trash them even though she feels sad. Izzy on the other hand has started going out with Charles and it seems like a nice relationship. They went to the jewelry shop together and eventually had sex, but the sex was Waco because Charles came too early. The next day after they had the supposed sex, Charles started to avoid Izzy again. Izzy tries to talk things out with Charles, but he made her understand that he likes being alone and they cannot work, and this is because he has never been laid before. Both said their goodbyes. Izzy finally decided to tell Sabrina about their dad and the situation surrounding his death, and she read it out of the note she is always hoarding to herself, that their dad did not really die in a car accident and that he killed himself, and this is the sad truth about their dad. Sabrina said she misses their dad and he did not bother to say goodbye. Izzy lured Sabrina to lay on the floor with her as they both yelled to the sky about their problems. Izzy wants a happy ending story and Sabrina said she misses Sebastian. They both finally came home and they met Sebastian in their house with flowers again for Sabrina, and they finally reconciled and did not say goodbye. Izzy says in every story everyone gets an ending, but she in her own story it is just the beginning.